Today's show is all about the newest addition in the Unparallel line, the Qubit. So the first time I saw this shoe, it was a year and a half ago when we were in Japan with Unparallel athlete Ryuichi Murai, and he was actually testing a prototype and a version of this shoe. And right away, from their stories and what they wanted to get out of the shoe, I was really fascinated and intrigued. And fast forwards to 3 months ago, I finally got them and the flagship pros, but I instantly started to gravitate towards Qubit more. But before diving into the whole review, here are the tech specs. The Qubit climbing shoe has a 4.2mm RH rubber sole for supreme stickiness and durability, complemented by a 3D RS toe patch with a tougher up toe run rubber for superior grip on steep climbs. It features a hard midsole stiffness and a full sole of RH rubber. It has an unlined synthetic upper, and the closure system is a single Velcro strap with an elastic tongue for added comfort. Designed with an aggressive downturn, the Qubit is tailored for high-performance climbing on steep and overhanging routes. And that's exactly where I started using this shoe. On a steep and long endurance route in Oliana. It was my winter project. And in recent years, I've been used to climbing with like softer shoes, especially since I'm a lighter climber. But then I got to a point where I was looking for a stiffer shoe, a more supportive shoe, but at the same time, I could smear well on slabs, that I could be precise with small footholds, and at the same point, they had to be like downturned and stiff. So this fits all the boxes, and that's why I was so excited to try it out on this route. So Unparallel sent me the normal version to try out, and there's also a low volume version. You can distinguish them by the loops at the back. This one is red and black, and the red and white is the low volume version. In terms of the shoe, looking at it, you can see it's narrow. I mean, it's really narrow in the toe box, and it's especially narrow at the heel. So for anybody out there with small heels and thin heels, this shoe is for you. And I was so pleasantly surprised when I tried them on for the first time. The heel just fit my foot amazingly, and the rand here at the back doesn't dig into my skin. I could take them on and off easily, like during a climbing session or while I was on the route resting. Yeah, it's just well made. It pushes the foot to the front, but at the same time, it doesn't dig into your skin. Furthermore, the rubber on the heel is pretty soft and sensitive, so when placing a heel hook, even on like a technical heel hook indoor on small footholds, I can really feel what I'm hooking on, and I like it. I genuinely like the simple design. It's not overcrafted and built, and just in comparison with the flagship women, you can see how smaller and narrower the heel is on this shoe. So thank you for that, Unparallel. And from the tiny heel, let's move on to the gigantic toe patch for toe hooking. I remember Ryuichi actually telling us about this toe patch and how he was developing it, and kind of the thing of more rubber on the top. But it's not like any rubber. It has a couple of 3D textured features on it. And what I really liked about this toe patch up front, it's this little slits that it has, because my toes are right in there, but at the same time, sometimes on other shoes, they hurt because my toes have like nowhere to go. And I know that's the point of a climbing shoe, but here they have some space in there on the upper side of the toe patch to just feel comfortable in there. Plus, it's a really nice and thick toe patch. The break-in period was brief, and thanks to the synthetic material and stiffness, the shoe has maintained its shape without stretching, feeling new every time I use them. Over the past 3 months, this shoe has definitely maintained its downturn shape. I was a bit worried that it was gonna be like the stiffest shoe ever, that it was gonna feel like a brick on my foot, and instead, like, I'm not making that much effort, and it's still quite bendy there on the midsole, which is great when slab climbing, because I was a bit concerned that on smears I would have a difficult time and it was gonna be too stiff. Instead, even while slab climbing, I realized that if I drop my heels, the rubber and the shoe does turn into a pretty good smearing shoe, and also it turns quite quickly into an excellent edging shoe. So from a smear, I could turn little footholds into good edges, and I found that to be a really, really great feature of the shoe. On the route that I was trying, there were a couple of smears with my left foot, so I really needed to trust that pointy left foot, and at the same time, there weren't any other holds around it. So I had to smear, I had to trust that smear to make the moves work. And at the same time, that's where I realized like the power of the RH rubber. And even on cold days, I realized that it was sticky. It was like super sticky on those small footholds. I didn't have to worry. I got used to it pretty quickly. Yeah, it's thick at 4.2 and it takes a while maybe to get used to that, but at the same time, it means it makes the rubber and the shoe quite durable. My favorite feature of this shoe was the toe, and right here at the bottom, you can kind of feel like a bump, and basically it helps with grabbing and hooking and pulling on small footholds. And it's something I realized while climbing indoors on a board, that even on a steep climb, I was able to like trust and hook and pull and really like stay in there with my foot. And that's something that then I brought outdoors on my project, and I felt really safe and secure on small footholds that I could grab and pull, and my foot wasn't just like in there lying in a pocket, but I really learned how to engage more my toes and my feet so that it kind of stays in there, and obviously it helps me with doing the moves, even though I'm falling a lot in these videos, but that was deliberate to show really long whippers, I swear. The synthetic leather actually feels really good on the skin, and inside all the seams and cuts are seamless, and it doesn't create any pressure points. The only thing that I didn't like too much about the closure system is this little loop. It feels a bit uncomfortable on the arch of my foot, but it's probably because I have a very high arch, and I guess towards the end of a climbing session, and when my feet are a bit puffy and I tighten the strap too much, then I feel it, the little pressure, but it still doesn't compromise on the overall performance of the shoe. In conclusion, for me, the Qubit by Unparallel represents a fusion of innovation and practicality, tailored for climbers seeking a blend of durability, performance, and comfort. Its design meets the need of climbers with narrow feet, ensuring a snug and supportive fit, while its vegan-friendly construction appeals to the environmentally conscious. The Qubit does come in at a pretty high price point. However, you're paying for quality. It's made with the highest quality materials, they're made in California, and they just have quality control all over their shoes. So yes, you're paying for a premium. However, in my experience with Unparallel shoes, they're also very long lasting. So if you wanna pick up a pair, you can now find them on the Epic TV shop. Let me know down in the comments below what you think of the shoe. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching.